What's going on, everybody? I hope you all are having a fantastic day, and my name is Vulcan Turtle TCG. I'm the newest member of the Shuffle Squad, and I am extremely happy and proud to be a part of a team of amazing content creators, amazing players, and I get to make videos for you guys, which is just a super plus right there. So I'm super happy and proud to be here. And for my first video, I decided to bring something that, one, introduces me quite well. I very much enjoy this deck, and you guys might be able to understand what my playstyle is all about, and two, might have some relevancy when it comes to the upcoming Orlando regionals. So we all know CROWN ZENITH is going to be legal, and that's super exciting, but it could actually pose a problem for this specific deck list. Now, I've made some text and a little bit of changes that might bring this deck into the spotlight when you go up against those specific matchups. So hopefully when you go to Orlando regionals and you play in this deck, you might use some of these texts to get ahead. Before we go into the deck list, I want to go over our sponsors. So if you check out the description, there's a whole list of sponsors that help support the Shuffle Squad. And one of them is Atlas Collectibles, where you can go over to Atlas Collectibles and plug in TSS12 to save 12% on your order, which is a lot of money to save when it comes to sealed product or anything else that you might need. But you can also check out PTCGO store, where you can plug in TSS5 to save 5% on your PTCGO or PTCGL code card orders, which is amazing if you're trying to stay on top of everything. So let's get into the deck list and talk about some Regis. All right, everybody, this is my Regi list, and you're probably already staring at it going, what in the world is this? Is this a binder drop Regi? No, this actually works, and you'll see some gameplay footage that might convince you to run a couple of these cards. But to get into the list, we have ourselves 2 copies of Regigigas. Regigigas is kind of the glue, but every Regi is kind of the glue because you need every single one of them in play to use Ancient Wisdom, which allows us to accelerate 3 energy from the discard to a Regi, and that is always good. It also has Gigaton Break, where if our opponent has a VMAX Pokemon in play, we get to swing 300 for 5 energy, which sounds like a lot, but it's not that difficult to get yourself built up that way. Next up, we have 2 copies of Regidrago. Regidrago has a fantastic ability known as Dragon's Horde, where if you have less than 4 cards in your hand, draw until you have 4. It's a really good card for that consistency, but also it is an amazing attacker. 160 for 3 is by no means bad in this list, but you can bump that up to 190 with a belt. 2 copies of Regirock, which normally you wouldn't want to attack with this thing, but we do know for a fact that cards like Arceus are seeing play and Blissey V is seeing play, so Regirock's actually kind of good in those instances. It's a Regigate Pokemon, where if you attach just 1 energy, you can search your deck for a Regi and put it on your bench. So it's a really good card in that aspect. We got Regieleki. Now this is one of your main attackers. Regieleki from Evolving Skies has the attack Terra Spark, where you could do 120 damage for 3 energy, 2 of them being electric, and then you do 40 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. This card is great. It's a fantastic attacker. Plus you get to hit Lugia for weakness, so yeah, why wouldn't you? Another great aspect to this card as well is the fact that because you are able to spread damage, you can put some decent damage on Pokemon that do evolve into VMAX and then hit them with Regigigas without needing Belt. So it's a really good card to 1, fix numbers, and 2, just get huge knockouts. Next up, we have probably like an MVP of this list. We do have Regieleki from Astral Radiance, and this one has electromagnetic sonar. For a single energy, we can search through our discard pile, find a trainer, put in our hand. Now, I get it, it's susceptible to being Marnied. However, having that extra consistency in the list is always good, and considering we have a couple of one-ofs that might need to be found or used often, Regieleki is actually really good, but it doesn't just have to be our one-ofs either. We can get some supporters, we can get our path to the peak. Any trainer can be grabbed off of Regieleki. Next up, 2 copies of Registeel. Registeel is kind of just a cheerleader in this list. Now, it can get knockouts on certain baby Pokemon, but it's not one of the best attackers thanks to its heavy slams reduction based off of retreat cost, but I digress. It does have Regigate. You can search your deck for a Regi, put it on the bench. That's always good, but at the end of the day, Registeel is kind of just a cheerleader. And Regice to finish off the Pokemon, only 2 copies, and Blizzard Bind is good. Yes, you can Regigate with Regice, but Blizzard Bind, good, because you can make your opponent's defending Pokemon V not attack, and because CROWN ZENITH is legal, well, making Pikachu, Flying Pikachu VMAX in Duraludon VMAX not being able to attack is pretty good, so long as they don't have a Parasol. But we are running cards to help us with those matchups. But before we get to that card, 3 copies of Energy Loto. One of the most important things when it comes to Regis is getting the Aurora energy out as fast as possible. But not just that, we also need gift energy too. And getting them out as aggressively as possible and being turbo aggro in a sense, Energy Loto is good to fill that role because we don't need shoes if we're always drawing 7 at the end of our turn, right? So Energy Loto is super good. It gets us the cards that we need in order to make this deck work. 2 copies of Escape Rope. Like I said, Flying Pikachu VMAX is seeing play, and even Ice Cube is seeing play. And being able to get around some of these Pokemon that make your basic Pokemon not being able to attack, or not just not attack, just do no damage in general, getting around that is pretty important. So 2 copies of Escape Rope, very clutch here. 1 copy of Hisuian Heavy Ball. Sometimes you do prize 2 of the same Regis and then you can't do anything. Heavy Ball saves us from that because it lets us look in our prizes, grab a Pokemon, and put it in our hand. 3 copies of Rod. Regi's no good in the discard. Regi's very good in the deck. So 3 copies of Ordinary Rod gets our Regis back into the list, and we can pull them back out with 4 copies of Quick Ball. Quick Ball is a fantastic card because, hey, we need Regis on the bench. The only thing better than a Regi in the deck is a Regi on the bench. So Quick Ball at 4. 3 Scoop Up Nets. You could possibly cut this down, but 3 seems fine. It's a way to pivot, but it's also another way to reset Regigigas' Ancient Wisdom if you need to do that. Your opponent can kind of work around it, but if you do need to pull that maneuver off, you can Scoop Up Net, Regigigas, and Ancient Wisdom twice in a turn. Ultra Ball, great. This card does one thing better than Quick Ball, and that is discarding 2 cards. Because if we have a handful of special energy and we need them in the discard, Ultra Ball just gets rid of them for us, and we can go get whichever Regi we need. So that is why we are running Ultra Ball at 2. It's not something that we need to do every turn, but in certain situations where we have a bunch of energy in hand, Ultra Ball better over Quick Ball. Yell Horn, as I said, we do have Flying Pikachu VMAX and Duraludon VMAX back in this meta, and it's kind of been nuts for them. They've been doing quite well, and with Eternatus, Radiant Eternatus being released, or has been released in CROWN ZENITH, and most likely going to be seeing play in Orlando, you might see an increase of Flying Pikachu and Duraludon VMAX. So Yell Horn helps us big time because they might be considering the fact that if they have Flying Pikachu, they don't need any other Pokemon. But if you Yell Horn it and confuse it, they have to fight through the confusion. They have to flip aheads. There's nothing they can do except set another Pokemon, which could actually win you the game. So Yell Horn, very, very good here. 3 copies of Path to the Peak. Path to the Peak gets over things like Genesect's ability. You stop it, so no draw from you. But another important aspect is, like I said, Duraludon VMAX is seeing a bunch of play. And being able to turn off that ability so that way Pokemon with special energy can't hurt it, it's really good considering the fact that Regigigas swings 330 with a belt, which is exact knockout for Duraludon. 3 copies of Marnie. Sometimes you do have very important cards in your hand that you don't want to get rid of, like the Ordinary Rod. So Marnie it back in the deck, so that way you can utilize it later. We got ourselves 4 copies of Research. Discard is actually pretty good in this list. It's actually one of the main components of this list, getting rid of things. But if you have Ordinary Rod in hand, sometimes you don't want to do it. That's where Marnie comes in play. But when you have a handful of energy and cards that are just useless in a specific matchup, Research baby, Research baby, Research baby. Alright, Serena. We're playing 3 copies of Serena. This card is actually like a staple for Regis now because it has 2 different effects. You can use it as a gusting option, or you can discard 3 cards and draw until you have 5. So Serena is a double-edged sword. Not to you, to your opponent. So Serena at 3, really good count. 1 copy of Cape of Toughness. Cape of Toughness is really good in the mirror match, but can also save you in certain matches where your opponent might not be able to swing over, let's say, 200 on a Regigigas or 180 on a Regidrago or any other Pokemon with 130 HP. So Cape of Toughness actually helps you in the prize trade because they have to attack you twice and you're just getting a knockout each turn. So very good card to have in here at 1. 2 copies of Choice Belt. Sometimes you don't need to swing over 330 with a Regigigas if you're setting up knockouts with Regieleki. So 2 choice belts, perfectly fine. You're already getting knockouts with Regieleki on Lugia V-Star with 1 belt. And once you start whittling them away with its amazing Terra Spark attack, you don't really need the 2nd choice belt. Alright, energies. 2 gift. Gift is one of the cards that we need to find immediately. It is one of the cards that... one of the reasons why we're playing so many Energy Lotto. We get this card out as fast as possible. We're drawing 7 at the end of our turn, at the end of our opponent's turn every time, which is so good. So gift energy, getting this out as fast as possible, you need to do that. So 2 copies there. 4 copies of Aurora. Now every Regi but 1 has a very specific energy requirement. Regidrago needs a grass fire. We need 2 fighting on Regirock, 2 electric on Regieleki, both of them, 2 steel on the steel, and 2 water on ice. The only one not needing any sort of specifics is Regigigas. So Aurora energy gets us those specific energy needs. Get that and discard as fast as you possibly can, and another reason why we're playing so many Energy Lotto. 2 copies of Capture Energy. Sometimes you just don't have Quick Ball or Ultra Ball. This card can come in clutch for you to get that last Regi that you just might need. It's also a really good card to start setting up with as well. 2 Speed Lightning Energy. Like I said, Regieleki is going to be one of your main attackers in this list, so giving it extra energy support is not bad. Plus, you do get to draw 2 off of the Speed Lightning Energy. And 2 twins. Twin energy is really kind of only used on Regigigas to get him set up so he can swing 300 on a VMAX. However, it is a nice card to have when you can attach per turn on a Regi that is going to be in the active, like let's say Registeel, then attach next turn, retreat, and then you can start using Ancient Wisdom, or you can attach it to Regieleki for a retreat as well, and then power up another Regi with Ancient Wisdom. So 2 copies of Twin Energy, very, very good. So that is the list. Let's get into some games. All right, everybody, here we go. We are now going into our first game with the Regis here. Let's see if we can go first, and we do, which is always good with the Regis, especially if you can like set up a bunch at once. And okay, you know what? This is actually not a bad hand whatsoever. I think I'm going to start with the Registeel though, because we have Regigate available to us that way, and we'll put down the Gigas. Okay, so they start Drapion, probably what they didn't want to start. Just in case we get Marnied, I think it's probably for the best to put the Aurora here, so that way we know we have access to it later. And I don't think we need to play the path to the peak right now, so we'll just pass. So not a bad start. We do have Research in hand, we have an Escape Rope, we have a path. So depending on what we're playing against, this path could actually be extraordinarily clutch. But this might be some sort of Lost Box list that plays Drapion V with a Sky Seal Stone. Well, there's the Comfey. So definitely a Lost Box list of some sort. And a pass. Okay. Well, we got ourselves a Lucky. Play this down. Ooh, I really want to knock out that Comfey, but I think it might be best to just Research here and lose out on the rope. Yeah, see, that kind of worked out a lot better for us. Energy Lotto gets us the second Aurora energy we need, so that is good. I don't want to attach it yet, I don't think. What I want to do is I want to put this Capture Energy down, get the Regice, and then we can Regigate and get the Regidrago that we need. So now we have all of the amazing Regi bros hanging out, and we got the Registeel in the active. We have a Gift Energy in hand as well, but we do have one in discard, so that's not too big of a problem. Gonna see a manual retreat off the Drapion. Kind of wondering what this list consists of, but I guess we will find out. So Comfey doing its very first flower selecting, dumping Zigzagoon. Okay, do they have anything? You know, this is the unfortunate thing about the Regi, or about Lost Box. Sometimes you do just brick like this. Ooh, okay, so that actually was a very smart play by my opponent. Let's go ahead and attach this here, and we'll put that there. And I suppose we can... we'll just have to pass. Like, there's not much we can do. There's no point in Regigating. I could have, like, accelerated a bunch of energy onto Regice and retreated, but that doesn't seem very good. Now, if we were able to actually pull off a free sonar that turn, like get the attach on the Regieleki, and then accelerate a bunch, you know, that probably was the play. We could have actually pulled that off, because then we could have got another Energy Loto or the Escape Rope. But now the Escape Rope doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal to miss out on, because they now have the second Comfey. So it is what it is. We could have got the other Energy Loto, but now because of the first Energy Loto, we have all the energy we need. We have the two most important energy currently on the board, which is our Aurora energy and our gift energy. Okay, so now we can kind of like just attach retreat. No, we can't really do that. We can't pull off an attack this turn. That's okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach here. We're gonna Ancient Wisdom onto Regice. We're gonna go ahead and retreat into Regieleki, dumping all of these energies to get there. And we'll Electromagnetic Sodar. We can get ourselves a research. So that seems perfectly acceptable. Now we have a draw support for next turn, just in case if they don't get a knockout next turn, that's great, because now we have the research in hand. And even if they do, if we dead draw off the gift energy, we're still going to be able to dump our hand and draw into a bunch of useful cards that we might need. More Scoop Up shenanigans. So they are playing the version with the new Zamazenta, which is from CROWN ZENITH. This card is actually nuts. If you're not familiar with this Zamazenta, allow me to enlighten you. Metal Shield, if this Pokemon has any energy attached to it, takes 30 less damage from attacks, which is already fantastic. But that Retaliate attack is a really big boost to Lost Zone decks, because doing 220 for 3 is nothing to scoff at. That is huge. It's a damage output that usually isn't reachable by the Regi deck unless they're playing Rayquaza, or if they're playing Charizard, the Radiant Charizard. So it's actually like really decent in that aspect. Okay. What do I want to give you? I'm going to give you the Registeel. I'm going to give you the Registeel because I wanted to go into it anyway. And if you knock it out, we have the Registeel in hand. And if you don't knock it out, we at least know that we can get an attack off with Heavy Slam. Okay, so that's kind of what we were expecting. Do I want to research now, though? I don't think I want to research now. I think I just want to accelerate onto the Registeel and just go for a Heavy Slam. Because we know we have the Registeel in hand. There's no need to toss it with the research. We have it going for us, and we're going to take our very first prize card of the game, which is actually not bad considering the fact that we are playing against a Lost Box deck. And if they're not playing the Raikou or any way to get multiple prizes in a turn, the person who's getting the first prize usually comes out ahead. But again, there's a lot of factors to take into consideration. If we're playing against a deck that can take multiple knockouts, we might be in some trouble. But if we're not, well, we might be in a really good position on top of it. So we will see what happens here. Attaching to the Comfey, going into the Zamazenta, they must have a gate in hand. Do they have a gate? They do have a gate. Okay, so they're probably going to build up this Zamazenta and the Zamazenta on the bench. How many? Okay, so there's already a steal in the discard. Do they only play 3? Okay, they play 4. Okay, so maybe 4 is the max number. They could be 5, like a heavy Zamazenta build, but I'm going to go on the assumption that they only play 4. That Raihan is actually huge. That Raihan is huge. That's going to help out that Zamazenta big time. But again, they are only taking a single prize, so we're not too worried about that. Let's see what they get off the... Well, we can't actually see what they get off the Raihan because it could be anything. Ah, Manaphy's actually a very smart play here. Blocking all the damage that I could possibly do either with this Regieleki or the other Regieleki. So, not a bad call in my opinion. Not a bad call at all. Oh, they're going to try and go for Greninja plays at some point too? Looks like it. Okay, so we definitely see a route for their win. The route for our win is just to keep hitting. That is all we have to do, is just keep hitting. It's all we can do. But we do play Serena, so we could get ahead in the prize race against that Drapion. So I think that's where the advantage comes in for us. If they do get a double knockout, we at least know that we can get a knockout on that Drapion because they started it. So we're not bad off. Okay, so they're taking 30 less damage, which means we're going to have to go in with our Regidrago. Because then we'll do 130 exactly. And another Aurora Energy. Okay, you know what? We're just going to put down the steel. There's nothing else we really need to do this turn. We can attach this. Do we need the belt, though? Giga Impact will do 280. So we don't really need the belt this game. We can just attach this here. Get rid of belt. Nice slim hand. Ancient Wisdom. Aurora Energy. And a Capture Energy. That's all fine and dandy. And we will go ahead. Giant Fangs getting a knockout on Zamazenta for 130. So it does seem to be that we have a way around the Zamazenta's blockage. You know, that metal shield, 30 less damage could have been a problem if like we went to go and attack with Regirock, or even if we went to attack with Regieleki. But we do have Regidrago, thankfully, and Homie puts in the work. Homie puts in the work. Already has a very high damage output to begin with, so that is very nice. Okay, so it looks like they did a Greninja, conceal cards. I think we're trying to mostly hit our Serena next turn. We will have 2 in discard, so we can Ordinary Rod. Yeah, that's fine. We can Ordinary Rod. So now we're in a rough spot, right? Because we don't have the Drago to get a knockout. Let's go ahead. We can put in Regice. There's Serena. Let's put these homies back into the deck. We can dump the Regieleki. Go get the Regidrago. Now we do have 2 Scoop Up Nets still. We also have a rope. And dumping this Serena means we only have 1 left in deck, which might be fine. I think missing a knockout here is not great. But I do also think we should Marnie. So I'm going to Marnie here. Their hand is huge. Might as well go for the Marnie. We got the net, so we do get a knockout on the Zamazenta. And we got the path to the peak, so we get rid of their training court too, which is huge. Let's go ahead and scoop up Regice out of the active. Go into Drago. Regice can go down. Ancient Wisdom, we'll put all of these on here. Easy day. Energy Loto, just to see if we can slim out the deck. Nope. Nothing there. We will do this. Draw 2. We got Serena for next turn. Path to the Peak can come down. Dragon Horde to draw 1 extra card. Got the rope. And boom, it goes bye-bye Zamazenta. Easy day. So now we're kind of like all set up. Like this isn't even like that big of a deal anymore because we can quick ball, get ourselves the Regidrago. That's not a problem. Have the Ultra Ball. We know we can get 2 prizes, get so far ahead that whatever they put up in the active, we just take the win at that point. So we are actually pretty decent. Now I'd like to get another energy so we have a free pivot because we want to go and attack the Drapion. But at the same time, I don't think it's necessary because we do have the quick ball in hand. Ooh. We did just dump a Regieleki. We know we have a Regigigas in deck, but we do have Escape Rope too. Okay, you know what? That's fine, actually. That is fine because then we can Escape Rope, retreat into Regirock, Serena out the Drapion for 2 prizes. Yeah, that actually seems perfectly acceptable. Perfectly acceptable. So if you're up against this deck in Orlando, make sure you have your Dragos to knock out these Zamazenta because it's like the only thing in the deck that can do so. Going for the steal, but you know what? That is okay. Let's go ahead and Escape Rope. So we're going to be able to go into our Regidrago, retreat into Regirock, which means that our Aurora energies are going to be in the discard. Perfect. Okay, so there we go. We're going to retreat into Regirock, Serena, and have them bring out the Drapion. Ancient Wisdom. Get everything all built up. Make sure we attach that Gift Energy. And Giga Impact for a huge knockout there. So now we are more than in a good spot. We are in the best spot. And yeah, there's the scoop. So I figured that was going to be the case once we got that going. All right, guys, next game against this Mario mustache individual. And we got ourselves another coin flip win. We take those. We take those. We want those. And this is actually a much better start. Having Aurora in hand isn't bad. We also have Speed Lightning. I think it might be safe to go with a Regigate Pokemon first. And then we can set our homies down on the bench here. Don't have much for means of draw support, and we are up against Lugia. As I say, we don't have much for means of draw support. We pulled the Professor's Research. I'm going to play it extremely safe here. I'm going to attach this here. Put this here so we don't miss it. And we'll pass. That seems to be like the safest play. So we'll see what they got going on for them. We're going to definitely research next turn. There's no doubt in my mind that we're going to play that research. We have to play the research. We got a pretty dead hand otherwise, just a rod. So, oh no. Why? I've only got 2 cards in hand, homie. Why are you going to Marnie me? No, I liked what I had. Can we take it back? We better get a really good 4. Got an Aurora energy at the very least, so you know what? It could be worse. Let's go ahead and draw for turn. We got a Marnie. Actually, not bad in all honesty. This is actually pretty good. We're gonna get our Drago here. Choice Belt can literally go on anything now at this point. There's nothing else that we need it for. Don't want it in the deck, so I'll just put it on the Drago. More Aurora energies, which is huge, but we missed out on the Regigigas. We missed out on the Regigigas. Let's Energy Lotto here. Got ourselves another Aurora. So that's why the Energy Lotto is just so aggressive. We have everything we need now. Granted, we had one already. Let's go ahead and do this because it kind of puts emphasis that I want them to attack this. They need to find a boss. Because I have the replacement in hand. So we're just going to Regigate. Although I would love to just attack this Lugia with this Regieleki. Think that might be the best play that we have. So there's the Lugia V-Star. The question is, do they play Dunsparce though? Because I know a lot of Lugia V-Star decks have been removing Dunsparce from their lists. So if they don't have Dunsparce... Regieleki's about to be a menace if they don't play Dunsparce. Both of these Regielekis are about to be a menace if they don't play Manaphy either. But I have a good feeling that they play Dunsparce. Okay, so there's all the attachments. Most likely going to just go for an attack. Yeah, okay. So if we can find our other Registeel, we're in a good spot. Because then we can get a huge knockout on this Lugia V-Star. Ooh, the gift energy is actually kind of nice. We'll attach Aurora here. We'll dump this. And we will Marnie. Should be able to find some sort of ball surge. There we go. We got the quick ball. And we have a way to actually remove energy from the deck. So let's do that. Oh, we don't hit any energy. But that is fine. We'll go ahead and get rid of Scoop Up Net. Get ourselves the Registeel. We have a research in hand. We'll just research, or we'll Ancient Wisdom, the gift energy onto Regieleki. Gives us tons of draw support. We'll Terra Spark, do some damage to the homies on the bench, and get our first 2 prizes here. So no Dunsparce was found, but that doesn't mean they don't play it. So we have to be vigilant of that. Got a quick ball for next turn. Not bad, because then we can get our Regieleki back. Have a Rod. We have a Cape of Toughness. It doesn't like do much for us in this matchup, but it could be relevant. It could be relevant. I mean, it gets out of the way. Honestly, the only thing I could see it being relevant against is if they don't have the powerful energy to build up an Archeops for a knockout. Yeah, actually, it could be relevant on the Gigas. It could actually be very relevant on the Gigas. That might be the play that we have to go for. So we'll give Gigas the Cape. We can Ordinary Rod. Dump the card we draw per turn with Quick Ball to get the Regieleki. And then Research. But then again, honestly though, we are drawing a bunch of cards because of our gift energy. We can't forget about our gift energy. It's like one of the most important cards of the deck. And we just kind of like sidelined it for a second there. We have the gift energy, so we're drawing a bunch of cards as well. So it's not that big of a deal. They used the Capture Energy and didn't put a Pokemon down. Ooh. I smell danger. Okay. So there's the Tempest Dive, knocking out our Regieleki. I think the next best attacker that we can really bring forward would be Drago. Well, no. Never mind. We did just get a Scoop Up Net. So let's go into Regice. We can quick ball away the Energy Loto. We probably could have used it, but it's not that big of a deal. And because we put 40 on the Lugia, we do swing 240 now, and we don't need the belt. So that is super important. Go here. Scoop Up Net the Regice and go into Lucky. Put Regice back down. Cape of Toughness can go there. Yeah, we'll go ahead and use the Rod. We have a Quick Ball in hand for next turn. Plus, we're drawing a bunch of cards off the gift energy if they get a knockout. I don't think I need to research here. I think that's one of the most important things about playing the Regi deck as well, everybody, that you don't have to use your resources just because you can. Sometimes you might be in a better position later on. See what I mean? You might be in a better position later on not using them than just using them, if that makes sense. So that's going to be it for me today, and I hope you guys understand why I made some of the changes I did. The 3 Energy Lotto was extremely aggressive, and we were able to get some of the most important energy out as fast as possible, sometimes getting both Aurora by turn 2. The Yell Horn unfortunately didn't see much play today, but I'm sure you can see the implications that it can provide. And I think the other more important thing that we had in this list as well was the Escape Rope. Having 2 Escape Rope was extremely nice in this list, I'm not going to lie. You could possibly cut it down to 1 and go up an extra Rod or maybe an extra Net if you wanted to. But I really enjoyed the way that it's being played now. You could actually even go up a path. And lastly, the Regieleki, the electromagnetic sonar, goated. It's goated. You saw us be able to get a research from the discard when we had absolutely nothing for ourselves. Got ourselves out of a dead draw. Like, Regieleki's sonar is very nice because you can get these one-of cards back very easily. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And don't forget to like and subscribe so that way this video gets recommended to a bunch of other people and they can come hang out with us here at the Shuffle Squad. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate it. Until then, I'll see you next time.
The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectibles, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com and at the checkout screen make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectibles will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
The Shuffle Squad is partnered with PTCGO Store to provide our community with the best access to Pokemon TCG codes. They have codes available 24/7, instant email delivery, and you can save 5% off by using code TSS5. If you're a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, you'll have access to a special code that gets you 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Use code TSS5 today and save 5% on your next order of codes on any codes available at ptcgostore.com.
Are you trying to be the best like no one ever was? Now is your time. Head on over to Metafy.gg and search out all our amazing Pokemon TCG coaches where you can book all sorts of training plans ranging from deck help to full season sessions with your favorite coach. What a great way to up your game. Check out Metafy.gg in the description below and take your game to the next level.
PokeXWord, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every day, and they recently launched a new Guess That Pokemon puzzle, which is a ton of fun to play. Go check them out at PokeXWord.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter for your chance to win a ton of PTCGO codes every month.
Challenge yourself against trainers from around the world to compete for the biggest online prizing yet.
Are you ready for an unbelievable tournament unlike anything else you've ever seen before? The Shuffle Squad is proud to announce our newest tournament series, the Late Night Event, with an amazing grand prize that's bound to have you excited.
Players can compete via play.limitless.tcg.com's online tournament platform every Tuesday to get a chance to earn weekly prizes. And every week, your placement in the tournament is tallied by points based on your best finishes to earn your rank for the Late Night Invitational event.
The series will be conducted starting February 7th of 2023 and carry all the way through to the Invitational on July 9th of 2023, where the top players will be rewarded the grand prizing.
And the grand prize is a signed jersey and photo op with the entire Shuffle Squad, as well as a fully paid trip to the Pokemon World Championships in Yokohama, Japan. This includes hotel and airfare, whether you're a player or a spectator.
Don't forget to check out all the live coverage on our YouTube and Twitch channel of the top cuts of these events for every week. And subscribe so you can get notified where to watch the Late Night Events Invitational brought to you by the Shuffle Squad. Now get out there and start winning. We'll see you in Japan.